Nano decides to teach a boy a lesson he'll never forget when she meets a boy who likes to play with different girls. A pregnant Petch is observed by her classmates as she walks by Nano's new school. After that, Nanai, the man who got her pregnant, approaches her as if she were a stranger. However, when Nano passes Nanai and his best friend Zheng, he turns to look for the next girl to exploit. Nano introduces herself in their classroom, drawing the attention of Nanai and Zheng. To make room for the girl, Nanai jokingly kicks his seatmate Zheng when the instructor suggests a seat for Nano. Even though the teacher doesn't take Nanai's suggestion into consideration, he still sees it as a success because he made Nano laugh, which is more important. Look me, a girl, is standing next to Nano. When she notices Nanai staring at Nano, she warns the new girl not to fall for him because he has already given birth to numerous schoolgirls. Due to Nanai's popularity and the fact that most girls choose to end their pregnancies, the school doesn't care. Nano jokes that she'll be fine as long as she doesn't get pregnant because she finds this interesting, but Look Me just looks worried. At noon, Look Me gripes to a young lady named Pin that in spite of the fact that she welcomed Nano for lunch, Nano needed to eat with Nanai. Nanai tells Zheng to leave when he comes to the table, so he has to eat with Look Me and Pin. But Nanai is so charming to Pin that even if he fed her like he fed Nano, she wouldn't eat with Look Me. Look Me, on the other hand, is aware that Nanai will abandon Nano as soon as he enters her pants. Zheng decides to bet after hearing this, asking the girls how many days they think it will take for that to happen, and causing annoyance to Look Me. However, when Pin joins the bet and Nanai pass them while being overly affectionate, she changes her mind and believes that the two won't last long. After that, Zheng and Pin laugh. The students stare at Nano and Nanai in class. Zheng appears after they leave and persuades everyone to participate in the wager. The wager thus begins. During the first day of judo class, the ladies cheer as Nanai defeats Zheng. However, as Nanai approaches Nano and takes a sip from her water bottle, their enthusiasm wanes. On the second day, while Nanai is posing with a trophy for the school magazine, Nano interrupts to kiss his cheek, causing the photographer to become irritated. On day 3, Zheng collects the bets placed by the students at the table in front of him, while Nano and Nanai are enjoying lunch in their own world. He skips Petch, however, when he sees her eating by herself. Petch discovers Nano later, having vomited in the ladies' room. She carefully approaches Nano to have a conversation with her, telling her that everyone is betting on how long it will take Nanai to change into her pants. Petch, on the other hand, apologizes to Nano for being so inquisitive when she is asked how long it took Nanai to enter hers. Petch says that she doesn't want Nano to become like her. Nano responds that self-pitying will not benefit her as she prepares to leave. Petch laughs, not knowing what to say, and walks away quietly. Nano then has an affair with Nanai in the locker room. Then, Nano asks Nanai to recall exactly how many days they have known each other, which is slightly more than 3 days. Nano lets him know they actually don't have the foggiest idea about one another alright. Nanai charms Nano into changing her mind by claiming that love has nothing to do with time. After all, he knew from the beginning that he liked her. He goes on to say that he'll do anything for her. Just to prod Nanai, Nano believes it's still too early, requesting that he sit tight for one more moment. Nano begins to count down from 10 as the minute draws to a close. After Nanai has completed the countdown for Nano, they exchange passionate kisses. Nano eventually kneels down and unbuckles Nanai's belt after taking control and securing him against the lockers. Later on, Zheng is proudly shown the kiss mark that Nanai gave him as a badge after the encounter. As Nanai breaks the previous record of 3 days, 3 hours, and 33 minutes for getting into a girl's pants, the two friends laugh. Zheng shows the pile of money to everyone to see who won the bet after the two have completed their act. Zheng begins reading the two optimistic guesses after Look Me tells him to move on to announcing the winner. However, Nano suddenly shows up and inquires about the situation. As Look Me stands, apologizing profusely for participating in the wager, the crowd falls silent. Then, Nano gets some information about his bet and claims it's not something to be embarrassed about. Nano decides to participate in the victor's announcement as everyone shuffles in an uncomfortable manner. She reads Look Me's guess and declares that she is incorrect but reasonably close. Zheng reluctantly reads the subsequent entry, which shows the exact time. Nano, impressed, inquires about the bettor, and to everyone's surprise, it turns out to be Nano. Nanai enters the room as Nano takes the money. Nano informs her classmates that she is also a player, like Nanai. She walks up to Nanai with money in her hand and tells him he was played, leaving everyone muttering behind. Nanai is furious as she looks at her. Later on, in the judo class, Nanai's head is somewhere else, so Jang easily wins each round. After spending time with Nano, Jang makes fun of his rustiness by asking inappropriate questions about the girl. Despite Nanai's dismissal, he suddenly experiences pain. Regardless of Jang proposing to tap out, Nanai demands another round. A while later, in the bathroom, Nanai's recovering by the sink when Nano shows up and charms him, inquiring as to whether he's frantic at her. Nanai grabs her out of frustration and starts kissing her, while Nano looks very unimpressed. He takes off their underwear and gets ready to punch Nano in the back, but Nano just makes fun of him because he can't get in the mood. Nano makes fun of Nanai by stating that they can just try again the next time. Nanai puts on his underwear and pants again out of embarrassment before yelling at Nano. Their classmates are listening in from the outside. Nano suddenly emerges from the restroom and, acting like a desperate girl, prevents Nanai from leaving. Everyone whispers when Nanai says he wants to break up with her. Nanai just dismisses Nano because he doesn't like the way she looks at him, despite her pleas that she can change. The man explains that Nanai still doesn't understand Nano and treats him like an object. After that, Nanai tells her that they were just having fun. Nano laughs out loud when Nanai turns to leave, revealing that she is just making a scene to make him feel like a man. Nano also makes the point that he also objectified her. She says, though, that maybe Nanai will start to feel something in him after that day, even though she doesn't feel anything. Petch eats lunch with Nano, who is eating on her own. Because she is not like other girls, she finds Nano to be strange. Petch says that she didn't realize Nanai wouldn't take responsibility until it was too late. Petch admits to being content when Nano inquires about her feelings regarding keeping the child. Nano asks Nanai whether Petch wants her to take responsibility, but she just says no. Nano smiles devilishly at this. Later, while he's in the shower, Nanai notices that his body has changed. After that, he decides to have an affair with Look-Mi in the locker room, but the girl suddenly screams as he unbuttons his uniform. As Look-Mi leaves him alone, Nanai looks down and notices that his belly has grown, which also surprises him. With his jacket on and his belly held, Nanai goes home to dinner with his parents. He responds that he is fine and says that he is just a little cold when his father asks him why he is wearing a jacket. After that, he starts eating, but he spits out the food that is on the table because he thinks it is disgusting. He quickly gets up and vomits after blaming his illness on his mother's cooking. Look-Mi recounts the incident she had with Nanai to her classmates, including Jang, the following morning. However, when Nanai arrives early, his bag covering his stomach, they all hush. Jang asks Nanai if he will practice later while sitting next to him, but he just shakes his head. Nanai hurries to the window and vomits as soon as Jang eats. Jang asks Nanai what's wrong, shocked. However, Nanai explodes and demands to be left alone before storming off when Jang makes a comment about Nanai's expanding belly. Nanai looks in the mirror at his expanding belly. During his photo session with the school photographer, this makes him feel uneasy, which is evident. They play around in the darkroom because of the photographer's flirtations after the shoot. The photographer, on the other hand, accidentally presses the light switch, which illuminates Nanai's large belly. She, as well, goes crazy and lets him be, disappointed. Nanai visits the doctor because she is embarrassed. The doctor asks Nanai if he has ever had surgery because it looks like he is pregnant thanks to the ultrasound. Nanai is startled by the possibility and reminds the doctor that he is a man. Yet, to the specialist, Nanai may be somebody who's brought into the world with both male and female regenerative organs. In point of fact, he has been carrying a healthy girl for approximately 16 weeks. When he suddenly feels his baby kick inside, Nanai is startled and looks at the doctor and the monitor in disbelief. Nanai feels as though he is being rejected more and more every day. He gets so enraged when he hears the photographer talking about the incident in the darkroom that he slams his bag on the table and walks away. Jang pursues him, claiming that he just wants to know what's going on in Nanai's life and participating in the gossip groups. He requests that Nanai simply inform him of the situation so that he does not have to hear it from others. Nanai snaps and reveals that he is pregnant when Jang suggests going to a health clinic. However, at that exact moment, Nano draws Nanai's attention and requests that he smile for the camera. Nanai rushes away after realizing what Nano is doing. Sadly, it is already too late. Around school, the video Nano recorded is fanned out like quickly. Understudies are ridiculing Nanai, with some accepting he made them come. Nanai's life is crumbling all around him. Even running for student president is against the rules. When he vomits in public, students are also disgusted. Later, Nanai looks in the mirror at his enormous belly. Then, he experiences nightmares about the women he once dated. One says he's presumably wiped out, and another requests that he take a few pills, very much like everything he said to her to do. Additionally, a girl offers to accompany him to the same location where he previously took her to end his pregnancy. Nano eventually appears and mockingly commends him for having a daughter before leaving him alone in the dark. Nanai is overcome by the visions to the point where he throws away his laptop. Nanai conceals his belly by wearing a thick jacket to school the following day. However, students observe him struggle as he removes some of his belongings from his desk. After that, Nanai walks away, and Jen calls for him. However, he only listens to Nano's call. She makes fun of him and jokes about how she doesn't mind his pregnancy. Nanai leaves because she can't handle the negative attention. In his room, Nanai gazes at himself on the magazine cover and peruses the pages that depict him as a model understudy, crying. After that, his father comes knocking and inquires if he is actually pregnant. He also says that he doesn't believe Nanai put himself in that predicament. Nanai is enraged, so he opens the door and tells his father not to say anything if he won't help. His father regrettably responds that he is nothing but trouble. Nanai's feelings were made worse by his father telling him to end his pregnancy or not come home at all. Nanai responds that he never said anything when his father had his secretary have her own pregnancy terminated. At the point when all's said and done, Nanai's let be, crying in his room. He chooses to move out and leases a room someplace. He eats his food but just spits it out in the dark. He punches his belly out of frustration and regrets it because of the pain, which makes him groan in bed. He despises his reflection whenever he looks in the mirror. He decides to take a pill after that, but he just throws up. In another endeavor, he takes more pills, yet he later hurls blood and gets crippled by outrageous torment. The next day, when Nanai wakes up in the bathroom, his despair causes him to grab a knife. When a knock comes in, he puts the knife over his belly and is about to stab himself. He looks out the window and releases the knife. As Nanai struggles to get to the door, all he can see is a girl wearing a red ribbon leaving the gate. However, a card with 2 pregnancy-related questions is lying on the ground. When he reads them, he thinks about the last person he slept with and wonders how he got pregnant. Nano. Thus, masking himself as a lady, Nanai hangs tight for Nano outside the school. He approaches her and demands to know what she did to him, dragging her aside. In any case, Nano simply utilizes his words against him, saying they were having some good times. After that, Nano abandons him. Afterward, Nanai follows Petch while he's still in mask. He calls her, starts walking slowly, struggling, and says sorry for everything. He is deeply sorry that he left Petch to deal with that alone, now that he knows how she feels. However, Petch simply stands there, assuring Nanai that she is no longer enraged at him as a result of that long ago incident. Instead, she believes that they were both responsible for the events of that time, but Nanai disagrees. In addition, Petch is content with her decision. She connects with hold Nanai's hand, and Nanai embraces her. Petch smiles as he smiles goodbye to him and wishes him luck. In a little while, Petch starts giving birth. Thankfully, she gives birth to her child successfully despite the pain and struggle. Meanwhile, Nanai visits the doctor as well, but he plans to end his pregnancy. After the doctor injects the anesthetic, Nanai suddenly finds Nano next to him, holding a scalpel, and tells him he'll be fine soon. He struggles as Nano places the blade around his neck, but when everything turns black, he gives up. However, when Nanai awakens, the nightmare begins. The fact that the doctor gives Nanai his baby frightens him, and he says he wants to get rid of the child. He likewise brings up that he was a couple of months pregnant, however the specialist states he conveyed his child for the full term. The doctor responds that he can do it himself when Nanai reiterates his desire to terminate the pregnancy. So, back in his room, Nanai tries to deal with the crying baby next to him. He decides to strangle his daughter out of frustration. But when his daughter coos at him, he hesitates and starts crying with his hands just a few inches from the baby's neck. Nanai is incapable of killing his child. Instead, he laughs through his tears when he sees spots on his shirt that are wet because he is making milk. He then carries and breastfeeds his daughter while apologizing and crying. A knock at the door comes at that exact moment. When Nanai opens the door with his baby, he sees Nano outside, who thinks his daughter is cute and kisses her. Nanai is pleased to see her, apologizes for his actions, and he promises to become a better man. He only desires for her to return. But Nano just looks at her blankly, so Nanai turns him down because all she wants to do is give him baby supplies to see if he's a good parent. She is at ease now that she has seen him assume the role. Nano shuts the door and leaves despite Nanai's pleas. She then discovers a self-portrait with scribbles all over it. She discards the photo and continues to walk after realizing that there are other similar ones on the floor. Nano follows her photos until she reaches the rooftop, where she discovers that some of them are even taped to the walls. She last sees a picture of herself and Nanai just a few minutes ago, with all of her face scratched out. Her shoes are then attached to a red ribbon. She sees a red painted note with the words, "See you soon" on the wall in front of her.